Thanks to Prudence Rutherford, the wealthy socialite whose necklace I helped recover while solving that scarlet hand case a while back, I'm on my way to Venice, Italy. Apparently, someone there has been dressing up in a mask and cape and stealing valuable pieces of art. The news media call him the Phantom, not only because of the way he dresses, but because he leaves behind so few clues. Prudence, who loves Venice and belongs to an organization dedicated to preserving the city's art, is outraged the thief hasn't been caught yet. So she talked someone she knows at the GDIF, the Italian version of our FBI, into having me help the police in their investigation. She arranged for me to stay in Venice in the palazzo she used to own, which now belongs to a well-to-do widow named Margherita Faubourg. Beyond that, all I know for sure is that I'll be working undercover, and as soon as I arrive, the police will send me something that will lead me to my assignment. What it will be, I have no idea. But am I excited? Oh, see! Thanks to... Open the door! Oh, no! Well, Nancy, things are not looking good. What the heck happened? This case started out so well. I mean, what could be better than waking up in Venice, Italy?
topo, fiori, porta, parete, banco, traliccio, statua, albero, fontana.
Let's see, what should I wear? I wonder what a num-num is.
Hello, Margarita. What is it now?
Hello, Miss Rutherford. This is...
I know who this is. It says so right on my phone. But if you're calling because yet another thingamajiggy has burst a woozy watsit there in the casa, you might as well hang up right now. The Canis Coast is yours, and much as it torments me to see her maimed by all your penny-pinching posturing, I'll not give you one more cent for repairs, not a one.
But this isn't Margarita. It's Nancy Drew.
Nonsense! If you were Nancy Drew, my phone would say Nancy Drew, but it doesn't. It says Margarita Faubourg, just as clear as day, and my phone is never, ever wrong about such things. It's a true miracle of modern science.
It says Margarita Faubourg because I'm calling from the Canis Costa. It's not really a miracle, Miss Rutherford. It's just caller ID.
Margarita, I insist you drop this silly ruse right now. And whatever have you done with that wonderful Italian accent of yours? I dare say it was your most charming feature. Now you sound like a common American teenager. Would you stop waving your arms like that? It's enormously distracting. I really must go. My assistant appears to be having some sort of conniption. Say again? Really? Oh. Nancy?
Yes, Miss Rutherford, it's me, Nancy Drew. You asked me to call you when I got to Venice and was all...
I'm sorry, this is simply too disconcerting to have this cool ID screen on my phone say you're Margarita, and to have you say you're Nancy. Is there nothing can be done? This is intolerable. Ah. My assistant covered the display with kerchief. A clean one, I hope. So, how goes the case? Captain Brassica said he was going to send you a parcel. Has it arrived?
Actually, I'm not sure. I haven't checked yet.
You really must get to work, Nancy. As the chairwoman of the Society for the Protection and Renovation of Venetian Antiquities and Culture, I am outraged at these thefts of Venice's most cherished treasures. I talked you up quite a bit, you know. Both the GDIF and the local gendarmerie are expecting great things from you. As am I. No one wants this phantom scoundrel captured more than I do.
I'm flattered, Miss Rutherford, and I'll do my best. But it's not like I'm a superhero or anything. Like I told you, I just like solving mysteries.
Just see see that you solve this one in a timely fashion, dear. We leave on a cruise in 2 weeks, and I shan't be able to enjoy a second of it until I know all those stolen works of art have been recovered.
I'll let you get back to whatever it is you're doing.
As it happens, I'm writing my memoirs. They shall be called The Principles of Prudence. Unfortunately, this has necessitated my hiring an assistant. You really must stop thinking bad thoughts about Ginger. Yes, you are. Just look how she's shaking. The other day, poor Ginger mistook the shapeless lump of leather my assistant called her purse for a doggy toy and ripped it to shreds. She's still a bit perturbed. Although, believe you me, Ginger did her a massive favor. Anyway, if you ever cannot reach me, it means we are hard at work. Bonne chance!
Hello, you must be the American Margarita mentioned. I'm Colin Baxter.
I'm Nancy Drew.
If you're looking for Margarita, she's up on the Altana, the rooftop garden.
What are you doing, if you don't mind my asking?
Right now, I'm restoring this 14th century mosaic, which means, without getting overly technical, I'm cleaning the tesserae that remain in place, repairing those that have been damaged, and replacing those that are missing with new ones custom crafted to match.
You kinda lost me at tesserae.
Simply put, tesserae are the individual tiles which comprise a mosaic.
Where did you learn how to restore mosaics?
Oxford University. That's where I'm from, actually. Oxford, England. At least, that's where I was born. I live here now and intend to do so for a very long while. Although I say that with no small amount of guilt.
Why do you feel guilty?
People like me and Helena are the reason true Venetians are slowly going extinct. We foreigners come to Venice, fall in love with her, and wind up staying. High demand for food and housing results in high prices, which in many cases means the people who were born here have to leave because they can no longer afford to live here. If I could be granted one wish, it would be to have been born here. That way I would feel entitled to live here, and I would know how to speak Italian.
You don't speak Italian?
Much as it shames me to admit it, no. Languages don't come easily to me. And since I am able to do what I do without knowing Italian, you know, I have some slides of various tesserae. Not only are they enormously informative, but they're also quite beautiful. Would you like to see them?
Sure.
Marvelous. Here we go. This is one of my favorites, for obvious reasons. Lovely shade of scarlet. Sometimes red is simply breathtaking. Lovely shade of scarlet. Lovely shade of scarlet. Phenomenal color.
I think I've seen enough.
Very well. I thought I had at long last found a kindred spirit, someone who shared my passion for beauty, for art, but you apparently are like everyone else, interested only in what something is worth instead of what it offers the soul.
No, please. I'd stay, but I really do need to be somewhere. Believe me, I think what you're doing is fascinating, and you obviously really know your stuff. In fact, that figurine in front of you, I've been dying to ask you about it. It's exquisite.
What, this statuette? Yes, it is exquisite. It's an example of late Etruscan bronze work, no doubt cast some 2,200 years ago. I'm not sure how Margarita came to own it, but she's very fortunate. It's almost impossible to find bronzetti of this quality outside a museum. You see, after they conquered the Etruscans, the ancient Romans melted down thousands upon thousands of statues like this just so they could make coins.
Interesting. Shoot, I wish I had time to hear more.
No, you go on. We can talk more later. Oh, a parcel was just delivered for you. It's by the door.
Thank you.
Buongiorno. And again, welcome to Carnas Costa. I see you finally decided to get up.
Actually, I've been up for a while.
Good for you. I got up, showered, and came straight up here. If it's the daytime and it's sunny, no matter the time of year, this is where you will find me. They say the sun gives you wrinkles and worse, and that may be true, but it also makes you tan. To me, to be tan is good. Your accommodations, they are to your liking?
Oh, yes, the room is wonderful.
You do not mind having a roommate?
Well, sort of, but at least she doesn't snore.
I warned Prudence that you would have to share a room, but she said you had to come to Venezia this week and you had to stay here. And as we both know, what Prudence wants, Prudence gets. Have you gone outside the car yet?
No, not yet.
Just do not forget to take your key and lock the front door whenever you leave. This is not the Palazzo Grassi, but I do have several valuable pieces of art. And with Il Fantasma, this phantom thief, running around and stealing everything, I prefer not to take any chances.
How long have you lived here?
Almost 2 years. 2 wonderful but very expensive years. The city expects homeowners like me to maintain these old buildings. But who pays for everything? We do. The Restoration Council gives us nothing, not 1 single euro. It is criminal.
Miss Rutherford, Prudence, she led me to believe you had a lot of money.
You miss the point. Just because I can afford to pay does not mean I should. It is the principle. It is the principle of the thing. Besides, being rich is something I like. If I am all the time spending money, I will soon be unrich.
I met the guy who's restoring the big mosaic in the main room. He's pretty intense.
Colin Baxter? I do not know how any man can find happiness looking at pieces of painted rock all day. Talking to him, it's like taking a sleeping pill. Que barba! But they say he is good, and so he works for me.
Who are they?
Everyone I know. All my friends own castles like this one. And since something is always in need of repair, we are constantly on the lookout for good workmen. And when we find them, we trade them back and forth like you Americans trade recipes for cookies. Olivia von Hellstein raved about the work he did for her. And what is good enough for the Countess of Schlosselbeck is more than good enough for me.
I'll let you get back to your sunbathing.
Bella roba.
Oh, shoot, I'm sorry. Here, I'll get those.
You must be my newly arrived roommate. I'm Helene Berg.
I'm Nancy Drew. Sorry for all the commotion when I came in last night. My plane got in 3 hours late.
No need to worry about waking me up. I can sleep through almost anything. Well, I'm sure you have things to do and places to go, so I won't keep you. Oh, by the way, there's a parcel for you in the entryway. Ciao.
Did that. Still have to do that. Did that. All done.
La mia lavatrice si è rotta, Vania. Posso usare la tua?
Ma non lo so, devi chiedere a mio marito.
Uffa, sempre sto marito.
I need a card.
Mia sorella ha avuto un figlio ieri, lo sapevi Giuseppe? No, no, pesa 30 kg. 30 kg?
Non sapevo fosse
I need my Italian dictionary.
È un po' pesante, sì, è vero.
Signora, ma come mai a Venezia ci sono tutti questi uccelli?
Time to use my Italian dictionary.
Erano sempre in Silva.
Ma perché ai veneziani piacciono gli uccelli?
No, non so, ma piacciono ai turisti.
Ho capito, grazie. Ehi, avete visto in televisione quello che è successo a proposito del fantasma?
No, cosa è
No, che è
successo?
successo?
Un poliziotto l'ha visto e mentre lo stava così per catturare, il fantasma si è dileguato e è diventato acqua.
Si è
Come
sciolto.
sciolto
Davvero?
come neve al sole.
E dove è andato?
E dove è andato?
Si è sciolto, non c'è più. Basta, meno male, ci siamo liberati di...
Scusi, posso farle una domanda?
E dica,
Tutte le gondole sono...
per mettere in rilievo la pelle debilitata e bianca delle
Ah, io pensavo che fosse tutti a lutto.
Giuseppe! È
Claudio!
un sacco che non ti vedo.
Sì, come sta?
That's my pager. Antonio Fongo is in his office. Time to go to
Tu,
work.
Giuseppe, io lo sapevo.
Sembra...
Nancy, what are you doing?
Bird watching. It's one of my hobbies.
You Americans always busy doing something. Che noia.
This looks interesting. I'd better go somewhere private and report this.
Ciao, this is Nancy Drew.
Yes, is this Detective Leporace?
Si, but please, to you I am just Sophia.
I'll remember that, Sophia.
You have something to report?
I think so. While I was watching Fongo, a pigeon flew to the window outside. Fongo got up from his desk, went over to the window, and took something off the pigeon's leg. Something very small.
He removed something from the pigeon's leg. You are positive?
Yes, he removed something, kind of studied it, then left the office.
Maybe he is using a trained pigeon to communicate with someone. Yes, this could be true, because we know that by phone he talks to almost no one. Here is what we will do. I will deliver to you a tracking device. You will sneak into Fango's office when he is not there and feed it to the pigeon. After that, you can use your PDA to see in what direction it has flown.
You want me to feed a tracking device to a pigeon?
It will be very, very tiny. But I do not want to leave it at the ATM. If you go there too much, people will get suspicious. So we will leave it for you in the costume store in Campo Santa Maria Famosa. It will be hidden among the things there. You will have to find it.
How will I know what it looks like?
Very soon, I will send a picture of it to your PDA. But you must locate the device quickly. If you do not find it in time, it will destroy itself. If that happens, we will hide another device. Your PDA will show you where we have hidden it.
You want me to feed a tracking device that self-destructs to a pigeon?
The self-destruct mechanism will automatically deactivate when you pick it up. And do not worry. The device will not hurt the pigeon after it is swallowed.
And I'll be able to track it using my PDA. Sounds like this thing is going to come in very handy.
It is from the GDIF. Military equipment is good.
Well, guess I'm on my way to Campo Santa Maria Formosa.
After you have fed the tracking device to the pigeon, you must do two things. You must find out where the pigeon goes when it leaves Fungos, and you must discover what it is carrying. Call me when you know these things. You are good to help us, Nancy. We are very short-handed. Carnevale keeps the police very busy.
I'll do my best. Ciao.
Hello, Nancy, right? So, how do you like Venice?
Oh, it's incredible.
I think Venice is the most fascinating city in the world. Its history, its art, its layout, everything about it is so rich and so beautiful, and there's so much about human ingenuity. I absolutely love it.
Have you ever thought about living here?
I have indeed. In fact, every time I come here, I make an effort to meet new people. Having friends is very important to me, you see? But I don't want to move here until I can afford my own palazzo. So, until that day, I shall have to content myself with staying here wherever I can and as often as I can.
How long have you been coming here?
I've been coming here ever since I was about your age. I always try to stay somewhere different. I'm a journalist. Right now, I live in Hamburg because that's where the offices of Your Welt magazine are. I do most of my writing for them. But I know far more about Venice than I do about Hamburg. In fact, I know more about Venice than most Venetians do. I know where the best souvenir stands are, the nicest glass shops. Here, I'll make you a list of the cheapest cafes.
No, that's okay. You don't need to do that.
You don't want to know where the cheapest cafes are? Are you sure you're American?
I'm just not into touristy things, that's all.
I see.
Oh, but you could tell me what your very favorite spot in Venice is. I'd love to know that.
Oh, well, let me think. That would have to be Campo San Paolo. There's something, I don't know, something very avant-garde about it that's quite charming.
So, what do you think about all this phantom thief stuff?
I probably shouldn't say this, but I think it's great. A caped figure darting down walkways beside moonlit canals, melting mist-like into the shadows, escaping not with stolen money, but stolen art. It's all just so wonderfully Venetian.
Have you written about it?
I'm working on a piece for Your Welt, yes. I tried to tell them I was here on holiday, but when they agreed to pay half my expenses in addition to my normal fee, how could I refuse? Besides, as far as crime sprees go, this one is rather refreshing. Il Fantasma hasn't physically hurt anyone, and has some very interesting ideas when it comes to what's worth stealing. In fact, it's altogether possible this phantom could turn out to be a woman. Whew! That would be a story I'd write for free.
So, have you dug up anything juicy for your story on this phantom thief person?
This case is so huge, the police are swamped. Apparently, they've got people coming in from all over the world to help track down leads. My contacts at the police station are too busy to give me the time of day, let alone a juicy tip. However, one of my non-police sources just told me something very interesting. He said the word on the street is that the next thing the thief steals is going to be a person.
He's going to kidnap someone?
A very wealthy someone. At least, that's a rumor.
Do you talk to Colin Baxter very much?
I try to talk to him, but he's so focused on his work. Having a decent conversation with him is virtually impossible. Once, out of politeness, I feigned an interest in what he was doing, and the next thing I knew,
he was showing you his tesserae slides.
Yes! They went on and on and on. It was nightmarish. I felt like a seabird that had landed in an oil slick and couldn't fly away. The only way I could escape was to confess that I found the slides less than fascinating, which hurt his feelings terribly, I'm afraid, but it couldn't be helped.
Yeah, the same thing happened to me.
The man is obsessed, which is a shame, really. After all, he's not bad looking, and there's a touch of intrigue about him.
What do you mean?
Once, while he was working, his cell phone rang. He immediately left the room to take the call, but as he was leaving, he picked up by saying, "This is Justin." Not Colin, Justin.
He's using a fake name?
Either Justin or Colin. One of them's fake.
Thanks for taking the time to talk to me.
It's been a pleasure. Pretty locket.
Thank you. My boyfriend gave it to me.
Boyfriend? You do have it all, don't you, Nancy Drew?
L'olio d'oliva, il più buono di tutti! Qui, venite!
Cos'è il caffè Gingin? Mi hanno detto che è molto buono.
Caffè Gingin? Ah, lo conosco, è molto vicino, 2 minuti qua.
È buono, è un bel bar.
Ah, allora ci andiamo assieme?
Sì, ci andiamo.
Check. All done. I haven't done that. Did that. Did that. Check. Did that. Check.
Sapete, è arrivato un detective.
Looks like I'm going to have to pick this lock somehow.
Ehi, Vania!
Sì?
A che ora c'è quello spettacolo? Claudio, hai letto quell'articolo sul giornale riguardo questo fantasma dell'opera?
No, non leggo più i giornali. Non ho i soldi per leggere i giornali.
Mamma mia, cioè questa fantasma, lo chiamano la fantasma, potete credere?
No,
Chi è
è
questo?
il fantasma dell'opera.
Ah sì?
Hanno fatto anche un film.
Secondo me Giuseppe è travestito.
Oh my gosh, Bongo's coming back!
Vieni qui, piccioncino, vieni. Vola.
Oops, try again. Nope. That's not the one. Gotcha. Hello? What kind of message is that? I'd better call Sophia.
Non lo so, ci sono tanti turisti che danno sempre il cibo.
Ma perché ai veneziani piacciono gli uccelli?
Boh, non so, ma piacciono ai turisti.
Ho capito, grazie.
Nancy, you have tracked the pigeon.
After it left Fongo's, it flew to Campo Santa Margherita. It landed right next to this place called Casa dei Giochi.
Casa dei Giochi. You are sure?
Yeah? Is something wrong?
Casa dei Giochi is a private club owned by Enrico Tazza. The police suspect that he fences stolen goods for big criminals like Leo Macchiano. If Fongo is working for the Phantom, perhaps Tazza is working for him too. Look around the Casa dei Giochi, Nancy. Talk to Tazza if you can. Get on his good side. See how much you can find out without making him suspicious. Was the pigeon carrying a message?
Yes, but all it says is hello in English, followed by an exclamation point.
There is a dot at the bottom of this exclamation point.
Yeah?
You must find a microscope and examine this dot, Nancy. If Fongo was sending a message to Tazza, maybe it's hidden there.
A microdot, of course. I'll do that. I'll find a microscope and take a look at it.
If I do not hear from you, you will hear from me.
I see from the way you are dressed, you are American. Who are you?
My name is Nancy Drew.
This is a private club. You cannot come in, sorry.
Signora, ma come mai a Venezia ci sono tutti questi uccelli?
Non lo so, ci sono tanti turisti che danno sempre il cibo.
Ma perché ai veneziani piacciono gli uccelli?
Boh, non so, ma piacciono ai turisti.
Ho capito, grazie. Che ore sono?
Boh, non lo so, ho dimenticato l'orologio. Vania, tu ce l'hai?
Sì, ce l'ho, sono le 10:30.
Benissimo, allora andiamo. Mia sorella ha avuto un figlio, lo sapevi, Giuseppe?
No, no.
Pesa 30 kg.
30 kg, wow.
Non sapevo fosse
È
incinta.
grosso.
È un
Mamma
elefante.
mia.
È un po' pesante.
Looks like that's it. Another package?
And I want you both to know that I am very sorry if that American girl is bothering me. It was not my idea for her to stay here, believe you me.
Yikes, they're talking about me. I shouldn't listen,
She doesn't bother me.
Nor me. In fact, I rather like her.
but I'm going to anyway.
This is because she spends most of her time on the roof bothering me. She's always up there looking through binoculars. She says she is bird watching.
Bird watching? She doesn't strike me as a type. I'm a bit of a bird watcher myself. Just this morning I saw a flock of ibises near San Giorgio.
I was trapped at a party once by a bird watcher named Red Knot. All he talked about was grosbeaks and jonkos and towies. I almost died of the boredom. Anyway, I apologize for the trouble she makes. If she bothers you, you tell me and I will tell her. Oh, she's fine.
She's quite fine, actually.
If you change your mind, you know where to find me.
So, I noticed someone got a box of chocolates. You perhaps? From a secret admirer?
They're not for me. They're for someone named Il Dottore.
I thought that was someone's special name for you. How disappointing. Especially since I was going to ask you if I could have a piece. I'm starving.
Do you have a Carnivale costume yet?
No, but I have been invited to several parties, so I'm definitely going to get one. I've got this strange urge to dress up as a cat.
I'll leave you to your writing.
1-1.
Hello again. Do you always wear that locket?
I've only had it a week. My boyfriend gave it to me just before I left.
I should have known. That explains why it is so, ordinary. Which is not a bad thing. It is just that, well, when one lives in Venezia, one becomes so used to true beauty that anything less tends to stand out like, dirt on a white rug.
Are you aware that Colin Baxter once spent time in prison for art theft?
How do you know this?
I did a little field research. His real name is Justin Beaumont. So you know about his past?
His past is not important. I believe everyone deserves a second chance because I am very open-minded. But my friends, most of them are not. If they knew, Colin would never find work in Venezia again, so please, Nancy, you must keep what you know to yourself.
My roommate, Helena Berg, does she stay here a lot?
This is the first time. I met her at a party which Rosetta Del Bene gave. When Elena found out where I lived, she practically begged me to let her stay here. And with Rosetta standing right there, well, I could not say no.
Does she really know as much about Venice as she claims?
She knows a lot, more than your average tourists in Zaltro. But that is all she truly is. A tourist from Hamburg, no matter how much she wants people to think otherwise. She's what you call a social climber. Always asking me about parties, when they are, where they are, who is invited, what should she wear, whose name should she say to get in. Che schifo! The upper class of Venezia is closed to outsiders. Elena is full of voglio, this is true, but she will never be one of them. Us.
Who is Il Dottore?
Dottore means doctor. What doctor are you talking about?
There's a box of chocolates downstairs for Il Dottore.
Someone must have left them here by mistake.
Has anything else for Il Dottore ever been delivered here?
I am up here all day. Something gets delivered, something does not get delivered. I do not know. I do not care.
Will you be dressing up in a costume for Carnevale?
Altro che! I have fallen in love with Commedia dell'arte. So this year I will dress up as my favorite character, the big-nosed, nasty Pulcinella. He and I are so opposite, no one will ever guess it is me.
I'm running kind of low on euros.
You are not asking me for a handout, I hope. Or a loan.
Could I maybe do some work for you and earn the money?
No.
Oh.
But do not stop with me. There are many ways for people with energy and voglio to make money in this city. Go to Rialto Market and see what people are buying. Use your eyes. Use your brain. You will think of a way.
I'll stop pestering you now.
Bella roba. Hello, Nancy.
Guess I'll be going.
Good, good.
Signora, ma come mai a Venezia...
I can't read this.
Questi uccelli?
Non lo so, ci sono tanti turisti che danno sempre il cibo.
Ma perché ai veneziani piacciono gli uccelli?
Boh, non so, ma piacciono ai turisti.
Ho capito, grazie.
Mio fratello si sposa, Vania, lo sai?
Ma non lo sapevo, un uomo? Sposa un uomo?
Would it be all right if I picked some flowers?
Go ahead. Prudence got them from a plantation in Hawaii, the Hili Research Center. They grow like weeds.
Grazie.
La mia lavatrice si è rotta, Vania. Posso usare la tua?
Ma non lo so, devi chiedere...
This kiosk could come in handy if I ever need any reference books.
Bene, bene. Tu come stai?
Molto bene, ma ti ho visto anche ieri.
Sì, 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 ci vediamo sempre perché facciamo la stessa strada.
Ciao.
Ciao. Vuoi andare al cinema, Vania?
No, assolutamente no.
È un bel film.
Ma non lo so, cioè non voglio.
Non hai tempo? Devi studiare?
No, devo studiare.
Ho capito. Va bene, alla prossima, ciao.
Ciao. Scusi, dove mangio qualcosa di economico?
A casa mia.
A casa
Puoi
vostra?
This looks interesting.
Avete visto in televisione quello che è successo a proposito del fantasma?
No, cosa è
No, che è
successo?
successo?
Un poliziotto l'ha visto.
Grazie.
E mentre lo stava così per catturare, il fantasma si è dileguato.
If you're here for the dance audition, take a look at the dance instruction book. When you think you're ready, put the cat suit on and get on stage. If you're good enough, you can keep the suit and come by anytime you want and dance some tips. Oh, and if you're not here for the audition, beat it. And a 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. I don't think so. Great job! Still some rough edges though, so take that costume home and practice. What's your name?
Nancy?
Nancy? Forget it. From now on, your name's, Punchy. Punchy LaRue.
But...
Next!
I can't dance without my costume.
Vuoi venire a cena da me domani, Vania?
Certo, ma mi piacerebbe tanto.
C'è anche Giuseppe, ti ricordi Giuseppe, quello strano
Me lo
professore?
ricordo, sì, che carino.
Beh, carino mica tanto.
your name?
Samantha Quick.
You are early, but please come in. Enrico is at the scopa table.
Ah, sono Enrico Tazza. Benvenuta a Venezia.
I'm sorry, but if it's all right with you, I'd prefer to speak English.
Of course, whatever you wish. What a pleasant surprise. I wasn't expecting you until after Carnevale.
I know, but I just couldn't wait to get started.
So, you're not only young and attractive, but enthusiastic as well. Tell me more about yourself, Samantha.
Well, I'm from the States, as you can tell, and I'm going to school in Switzerland, and now I'm here. And I think that's all that matters, don't you? Because frankly, telling my life story to someone wearing a mask is just a little too freaky for me.
I understand. Besides, having never met you before, I would have no way of knowing if what you tell me is a lie or the truth. I always wear the same costume for Carnevale. Why? Because I'm a very superstitious man. I believe that always doing things a certain way brings good fortune. For instance, I never discuss business with anyone unless and until that person beats me at the game of Scopa. Are you familiar with the game?
Yes, but it's been a while since I played.
Just to be safe, I will review the rules of the game as we play it here at the Casa dei Giochi. There are 4 suits in a Scopa deck: coins, cups, swords, and clubs. Each suit has 10 cards. 7, the most valuable card. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and ace. There are also 3 face cards: valet, knight, king. When you are taking tricks during the game, each card is worth what it says, with a valet worth 8, a knight 9, and a king 10. However, for scoring at the end of the game, 7s are the most valuable, followed by 6s, aces, 5s, 4s, 3s, 2s, then all face cards. For scoring, these are called primes. To play the game, 3 cards are dealt to each player, then 4 cards are placed face up in the play area. If 3 kings appear, the cards are redealt. The player who did not deal the cards goes first. When it is your turn, you must play 1 card and 1 card only from your hand. Now, you have a 2, and there is a 2 in the play area. So you will play your 2 and take a trick. I discard a valet worth 8. You cannot make a match, so you discard your 3. I discard the 2. Now, because you have a knight in your hand, which is worth 9, and there is a 6 and a 3 in the play area, 6 plus 3 equals 9, which means you have a match and you take a trick. I discard my ace, and because we are both out of cards, I deal us both 3 more cards. Ah, you have a 7 in your hand. You also have an ace, which is worth 1, a 4, and a 2 in the play area, which add up to 7. But there is also a 7 in the play area. So, which do you match with your 7? The 3 cards that add up to 7, or the 7? The rules say when presented with such a choice, you must take the trick by collecting the single card. And so, you match your 7 card with the 7 card in the play area and take a trick. I make a match with the valet and take a trick. You have yet another 7 in your hand. Now you match it with the ace, the 4, and the 2 and take a trick. And since you have taken the last card in the play area, you say Scopa and get a point. We continue to play by discarding and taking tricks until all 40 cards have been played. At that point, we count the points we have won by taking tricks and getting Scopas. The first person to get 11 or more points wins. If no one has 11 or more points, the deck is shuffled, the other person deals, and we play another round. Are you ready to play?
You bet.
We've played all our cards. I took the last trick, so I get all the cards left on the table.
No points for me.
I get 1 point for having the most tricks. I get 1 point for having the most coin cards. I get 1 point for having the 7 of coins. Now, let's add up what each card is worth and see who got the highest number of primes. I have the most valuable tricks, so I get 1 point. Scopa.
Scopa!
Scopa. You took the last trick, so you get all the cards left on the table.
No points for me.
I get 1 point for having the most coin cards. I get 1 point for having the 7 of coins. Now, let's add up what each card is worth and see who got the highest number of primes. I have the most valuable tricks, so I get 1 point. And lastly, we score the Scopas. You have changed your mind about playing Scopa?
Okay if we start over?
Of course.
Scopa!
We've played all our cards. I took the last trick, so I get all the cards left on the table. You get 1 point for having the most tricks. You get 1 point for having the most coin cards. You get 1 point for having the 7 of coins.
No points for you.
Now, let's add up what each card is worth and see who got the highest number of primes. You have the most valuable tricks, so you get 1 point. And lastly, we score the scopas.
Scopa!
Scopa! I took the last trick, so I get all the cards remaining on the table. You get 1 point for having the most tricks. You get 1 point for having the most coin cards. I get 1 point for having the 7 of coins. Now, let's add up what each card is worth and see who got the highest number of primes. I have the most valuable tricks, so I get 1 point. And lastly, we score the scopas. Scopa! 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 I took the last trick, so I get all the cards remaining on the table. You get 1 point for having the 7 of coins. I get 1 point for having the most tricks. I get 1 point for having the most coin cards. Now, let's add up what each card is worth and see who got the highest number of primes. We both have the same number of valuable tricks, so no one gets a point. And lastly, we score the scopas.
Scopa! Scopa!
Scopa! You took the last trick, so you get all the cards left on the table. You get 1 point for having the most tricks. You get 1 point for having the most coin cards. You get 1 point for having the 7 of coins.
No points for you.
Now, let's add up what each card is worth and see who got the highest number of primes. You have the most valuable tricks, so you get 1 point. And lastly, we score the scopas. You won. And because you beat me, we can finally talk business. I have a client who desires the Sad al-Melek sapphire. Have you heard of it?
Of course.
The Sad al-Melek is said to be the largest and most beautiful star sapphire in all of Europe. As you probably know, its current owner is a man named Vladimir Thanatos, who keeps it at the Palazzo Zateri, guarded by one of the most sophisticated security systems ever devised. Even someone with your youthful energy and talent will find stealing it a challenge. Which is why I suggest you contact Gina as soon as possible.
Gina? Who's Gina?
You Americans and your sense of humor. Gina who? You are a hootsamata. But now, back to business. Contact Gina soon. The more time you give her, the more details on the system she will be able to give you. There, business is over. Back to pleasure. Do you have time for another game of Scopa?
No, I'd better get going.
Good luck, Samantha. As soon as you have the sapphire, bring it to me.
Puoi venire a cena da me domani, Vania?
Certo, ma mi piacerebbe tanto.
C'è anche Giuseppe. Ti ricordi Giuseppe, quello strano
Me lo
professore?
ricordo.
Ieri sera in televisione ho visto questo detective americano che ha anche di nome italiano.
Nancy, you have examined the dot?
Not yet. I just wanted to...
Please, Nancy, you must examine the message you took from that pigeon and look at it under a microscope. When you do, that is when you should call me.
Hello, Nancy.
Would it be okay if I used your microscope?
I have a very strict policy when it comes to my equipment. No one touches it but me. And now, you. I trust you, Nancy. Please, be my guest.
Oh, thank you.
Nancy, you have examined the microdot the pigeon was carrying?
I sure have. The message, which was written in English, said, Il Dottore requests you to change the safe room lock combination to 43556.
Il Dottore?
Yes, which is really interesting because in his office, Fongo has a poster of Commedia dell'arte masks. He's crossed out all but 5 of the masks, and among the ones that aren't crossed out are the Brighella mask.
The mask the Phantom wears.
Right, and the mask for Il Dottore wasn't crossed out either. And it was in the middle, like it was more important than the others. And when I went back to the place where I'm staying, A box of chocolates had just been delivered for someone named Il Dottore, which means it's very possible that Il Dottore is one of the people at the Ca Nascosta. And I saw a similar box of chocolates in Fongo's office. I think he's the one who sent them.
Perhaps Fongo and the Phantom and whoever else they are working with are going by the names of Commedia dell'arte characters. This would make it easier to secretly communicate with each other. And if that's true, perhaps those chocolates are a message of some kind. And if Il Dottore was at the center of that poster you saw, perhaps the person the message was meant for is the ringleader.
Just what I was thinking.
Here is what we will do. I will have a technician hide tracking devices in objects these people are likely to carry around with them. Then, when we know which of them is Il Dottore, we will activate the appropriate device and be able to follow him.
Awesome. Let's see. Helena's always writing, so for her I could plant a bug in her pen maybe. And Margarita is always sunning herself, so you could hide a bug for her in a sunglasses case. But for Colin, you could bug a mosaic tile. You know, a tessera.
He's likely to carry a mosaic tile on his person.
If it's from me, he will. Long story.
This is good information, Nancy. I will have our technician prepare the 2 bugged objects and the device which she will hide in the pen, then leave them for you in the Banca dell'Oro ATM. You should give them to each person as soon as you get them.
Will do. Keep your fingers crossed.
My fingers are always crossed.
I need a card.
Hello, Nancy.
I came across this tessera and thought you might like it.
It's quite beautiful. All the more because it came from you. Thank you, Nancy. I shall treasure it.
Who else besides Margarita knows you went to prison in England for art theft?
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not going to tell anyone. I just want to know.
My real name is Justin Beaumont. 2 years ago, I removed a Renoir from the private collection of a man to whom it was nothing more than a financial investment. I took it home so it would be appreciated as the masterpiece it was. Its former owner took issue with my actions. I was arrested, and I was sent to prison for a year. As for Margarita, she's the only one who knows. She says if I don't continue to work for her for next to nothing, she'll tell all her friends I have a criminal record, which would essentially end my career here in Venice, just like it ended my career back in England. If that were to happen, I'd be utterly lost.
How did Margarita find out?
I have no idea. She wouldn't tell me. What's worse, not only does she keep trying to get me to use substandard material so she can save money on the renovations I'm doing for her, but she wants me to cover it up by lying to the Restoration Council about it. And for someone in my precarious position, let's just say resisting has been very, very difficult. Enough. I insist we change the subject.
Do you live here at the Ka?
No, I have a room in a building on the other side of the Grand Canal, a very small room. But I spend so much time here and so little time there, I suppose technically I do live here.
What are you going to be for Carnivale this year?
Working, that's what I'm going to be. I haven't been invited to any festivities, which is just as well because I detest costumes. So to Carnivale, I say, bah humbug.
I need to get going.
What's his name?
What's whose name?
The bloke who gave you that locket you're wearing.
Oh, Ned.
Goodbye, Nancy.
Hello, Nancy.
I saw this case and thought you might like it to keep your sunglasses in.
You are giving me a gift? You do not have to do this, Nancy, but I like gifts. And this one, it is very nice. Grazie.
I hear you've been using the fact that Colin has a criminal record to try to get him to do things that may not be totally legal.
Who tells you this? Colin, he says that? Because I do no such thing. It is him. He is the one who wants to break the law. Margarita, he says, pay me 1,000 euros, and I will find a way to save you 10,000 euros on your renovation. No, I tell him, lasciamo stare. But he keeps bringing it up.
How did you find out he had a record?
He told me. When he asked me if I wanted him to lie to the council, he was trying to prove he had experience in such things and could get away with it. And now, he is telling you that cheating on the renovations was my idea? Oh, once a liar and a thief, always a liar and a thief. This is what I get for being nice. If and when people find out I hired such a man, I will be the laughingstock of Venezia. So once again, I tell you, Nancy, please, keep what you know to yourself.
I'll let you get back to your sunbathing.
Good, good.
Check. Did that. Did that. Check. 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 I haven't done that. Check. Check. All done. Check. All done. Check. Did that.